That is Moonlight Shadow from Mike Oldfield on Around the Northwest on this, you could almost call it a balmy Thursday afternoon, live from Michael Murphy Sports in Letterkenny. They're celebrating 8 years in business today, and Michael has joined us now in the studio. Michael, good afternoon, sir.
John, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Good, good. 8 years. I remember the opening actually, yourself and Neil, and um, it was a real buzz around it. And why did you decide to open a sports shop? I suppose as a footballer or an athlete, something would be a little bit in every footballer that would go, it'd be nice to open a sports shop.
Yeah, it's Listen, it was an opportunity. Probably arose at the time. I was just out of college. I'd finished college, and I remember after 4 years, government says, right, I'm going to spend time at home here for the foreseeable. When I was supposed to try and concentrate on football at the time, really concentrating and still concentrating on it. But just the opportunity arose, kind of a sports shop, and I said, I'm interested in all different sports. I love it. Love products. Love learning about things that way. But yeah, I was the first in that from the business side of things in terms of business acumen, that type of thing. I was very much learning the job the first number of years,
Right.
But
It was a learning curve.
Without a doubt.
Because it's great, Mike. I mean, as a footballer, you're well used to going in and being picky about boots or jerseys or whatever the gear is that you need and all the rest of it. But when you're running a business, different story.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you had those interests that you mentioned about products, about sports that way. But I say business is completely a different thing. But yeah, I got stuck in, really learned, as I say, right up until this day, the staff around me in terms of support. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them, and still not able to do it without them. So as I say, we've been really blessed from day dot, 2014 it was, right through to now. Our staff are absolutely phenomenal, and they really are the driving force behind the whole business that we have. And as I say, we've been just really lucky to always have good staff, and ones that are passionate about sport, passionate about just people and connecting with people, and say we're lucky in that regard.
Yeah, because like any good business, it has to be customer focused, and I suppose the demands are bigger than ever in that respect. But I'd say two things. One, it's reassuring when you go in and you see the familiar faces behind the counter, and people that have been there for years. And two, then there's the developments along the way. I mean, online sales, for instance, it takes a lot of effort and management. It might, to the average customer, it's just a couple of clicks, and there you are, and you're on the website, and you're doing whatever. But that takes time and effort, and it's like a parallel business almost.
Yeah, it does. And again, we really needed to learn about that. I suppose our first number of years since 2014, we were very much a through the door type of business. We had a small online presence, but we needed to move with the times. Probably fortunate in the way we really developed our online presence, in a number of years before COVID hit. And then that was really, accelerated, I suppose, through COVID, when your online through the door shop, I suppose, had to close. And I suppose people's habits too, in general, they found out, well, we can stay at home, we can click, we can get it straight to our doorstep. And I suppose at that stage, they had no other option but to shop in that way. And I suppose started to trust it a bit more and say, well, we can do that, and it does work. So yeah, there's definitely that part of the business that has grown for us absolutely, massively over the last, suppose, 2 to 3 years in particular. But still, you like that through the door presence, where we're located in Donegal, and with the staff and everybody, they have that customer connection that you can get from a conversation. Is something that we still value, and getting to know what the customer's needs and wants are, and being able to give them and offer them some expertise, whether it's around a running shoe or a fit of a bit of clothing, then you would still hopefully be able to try and provide that on face to face, which is sometimes a challenge online.
Speaking of sports shoes, it's a good example, I suppose, really, that if you have a person in store, you're able to offer them advice, and then there's What is there's you've a gate
Yeah.
a gate monitor inside, so you can like determine what type of running shoe might suit people. Can't That's just not possible online.
Yeah, it's tricky. Listen, and I suppose the consumer's knowledge of what type of runner they want now is very much there. But yeah, the gait analysis machine is there to guide basically towards a specific type of runner, depending on, I suppose, the movement patterns of the individual themselves. So, yeah, and it's that, and it's getting that shoe on the person's foot for them to try on, because ultimately the comfort of what they feel is going to be the I suppose the end story for them.
Like any sports shop, you're going to have to cater for those that are really serious about their sport, whether that's athletics or football or whatever. And then there's just somebody who wants a tracksuit or a pair of trainers to go out and walk a few kilometres.
Exactly, without a doubt. There's something, I suppose, for everyone, and that you have to be wary of that. You have the high level, athlete, or the high level, I suppose, specific individual. But you've also, and exercise, whether that was over COVID or now, the opportunities to exercise and the location where we're at in Donegal are huge. Whether that's a general stroll on the beach, or whether that's taking up a bit of cycling or just an exercise class. So you need to provide, I suppose, products that can kind of vary and cater for them all at the various price points. And yeah, listen, come here, it's always a challenge. There's no denying about it. It's not always straightforward, but we definitely try to keep up with the trends that are out there, and I suppose what the demands of the kind of market is.
Two things that not everybody might be aware that you do. One is golf clubs and clothing.
Yeah, golf there. Yeah, we would have had probably a lot bigger, I suppose, of a golf presence. Maybe when we first began. So we still have our clothing and our general accessories. In terms of clubs at the moment, we've moved away from that ever so slightly. So definitely we have a golf presence there in terms of accessories and all, but in terms of the clubs and all, it's something we probably have moved and pivoted from.
The other thing is trophies and medals. Everybody that's competing, that's what you're aiming for, and they have to come from somewhere. So you provide that service.
Yeah, and it's
and that goes back. Actually, that predates Michael Murphy Sports here.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's been always a presence here, and returning customers, and I suppose that's one of the parts of the business that's really rewarding. You get customers that come back year on year, who you generally know their order, their time of year generally that they come about, and you have that rapport and connection built up with them, that you're able to, I suppose, offer advice to them based on maybe what happened last year or how that went, or if there was any improvements we made on last year's one. So yeah, that's a part of the business again that consistently grows for us, and we're happy with that. But yeah, just really, yeah, there's always new demands, new medals that the society's changing in terms of their wants and needs for that too. So again, we just need to keep trying to move with the trends and keep seeing what's out there and what the market demands. But yeah, listen, over the 8 years we've been so blessed, with customers. Really thank them all for the support that they've given the shop over the last 8 years, because yourself, the business can't survive without customers. But getting to know them as people too has been something that for me has been probably one of the most rewarding things, and getting to know people that I've never have met before is something that's really good, and something that I still enjoy trying to do as much as possible.
With schools going back now this week and next, and I suppose when it comes to the various seasons, well, we're in the middle of the club championship here in Donegal, and the soccer season's about to start. Teamwear is very important for schools and clubs, and that's an important part of the business too.
Yeah, listen, we try and cater for as much as we can. It's an impossibility at times to cover all bases, but we try to have a presence as much as we possibly can. So yeah, Teamwear can come in so many different forms. In terms of your clothing, your half-zip, your football kits, but also the actual equipment for the teams to train with. Whether it's your bibs, your hurdles, your footballs, your tennis balls, whatever that may be.
It's not just the kit for match day. There's so much more.
Yeah, that's it, and that's the part, I suppose, that's constant. I suppose every team we need to, I know for myself from training what the needs are out on the training ground, and you would like to think you can have a bit of an input into that in terms of what should be available for market. So, and again, likewise, the online nature of things has opened up that market, not only to, I suppose, the region that we're in within, you know, Donegal and the northwest, but even further afield in terms of around Ireland, and even further afield than that in terms of what we can provide in terms of teamwear for clubs not only around here but further afield, you know.
Well, I mentioned the championship there, Glenswilly going well. What, 2 wins and a draw? Our draw now this Sunday. You'd be hoping for place in the quarters?
Yeah, listen, I suppose we're undefeated in 3. We're still not qualified, which is, I suppose, a bit of a rarity. So we still need to go after a result this weekend. I think if we manage to get a draw, I don't think you can ever play for a draw in Gaelic football. But
that would be enough.
It should be enough. But yeah, listen, our draw are fighting there to try and avoid relegation. We've played them, it seems like we've played them every year over the last 4 to 5 years, and I can safely say we've come out on the wrong side of the result every single year. So yeah, away over there it's going to be a battle, so both teams battling. But listen, I suppose if we look at our last number of years as a club at senior football, we've struggled, you know, since 2016 when we last won it, and there hasn't been many victories in the championship for us since then. So, and the turnover of our team has been quite huge. So it's great this year that I think finally that, you know, that our players, I suppose, are experiencing what it's like to, you know, to come out on the right side of a championship result. And I think that the feel good factor within the squad and the club over the last, you know, number of weeks in particular has been really good, and something, you know, enjoy being in and around and being part of, you know.
And playing in the championship too gives you a chance to assess other teams and individual players. So now when you take over as the new Donegal manager, will you be including many of them, or will you be just keeping the status quo?
I definitely won't be taking charge of the team. We can say that for sure.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
But you wouldn't rule it out on down the line.
No, well, never know. Never say never. But yeah, listen,
just not right now.
Huge undertaking. Definitely not right now. It's a job. It's an exciting job for somebody else at a stage of life where they can take it on. You know, huge belief in the quality of player and the quality of squad we have here in Donegal. And I know there's no manager in place yet, but I know it will be an exciting job for someone. And something that somebody at the right stage of their life is willing to take on. And yeah, look forward to seeing who that person will be and rowing in behind as best we can, you know.
On that note, Michael, thanks for joining us, and the best luck. Here's to the next 8 years and beyond. Appreciate it.
Thanks, John. Thanks for all the support too from Highland.
Here, let's start with Ruth and her zero alcohol.
Stop, Michael.
Maybe she's doing Sky January.
He's one of the